Hello. Okay, so I've been asked. Actually, a few people have been asked. I'm actually not one of them, but I'm gonna do it because hey, I have a camera and I have this stuff. I found this at Michael's. I think you can actually get a lot. $6, but you get a lot from the Mardi Gras site that somebody mentioned. I'll try to find a link, put it in the comments. How's that? This was, I got a big bag full of it from Michael's today. It came in 4 Halloween colors, and I love Halloween. Okay, I don't know how long this is, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think the best way to do it is not with, I mean, once you know your measurements, you know how you cut your bow every single time, then I'm sure you'll eventually figure out how long you need to cut your piece of, this is called Tubular Crin or mesh tubing. It's squishy, make it, okay. And a lot of people make little loops for their bows. You can use it like corker by using it this way, doing little pieces and just tying it in the middle. It squishes down pretty nice if you need to tie it, which we're actually about to do. So I have this. I have a incomplete bow that I'm working on, and I have a long piece. Long, you can't. It's like long, lots of it. Piece of crochet thread. And when you decide how long this is, you can just play with it while it's still on its roll, or however it comes. For me, it was just out of a bag. And try to, like, you know, just kind of form your little loops how you want to do. I'm going to do 3 loops in this video, but I kind of formed my loops until they looked proportionally correct with the bow, and then that's the length I cut. And I would recommend doing the same, because if I tell you how long I cut it, and you don't cut your bow and the width of your spikes or whatever on the base but the same, it's not going to turn out the same. It's not the same. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take my little piece here, and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm just going to kind of hold the middle. And I'm going to make like a fish. And I want to make sure that loop is too big. That loop is way too big. Okay. Make it like that. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of holding it up to the bow here. Trying to hold it where it's, yeah, that's probably about right. Because you want to tuck it where it's going to go so you can see how tall it makes your bow. I don't particularly want mine sticking out too far beyond my spikes. But keep in mind, it's going to look a little big like this because it's still, most of that loop goes behind the bow. It's going to be behind that loop, so that's probably about right. Okay. Now, once I've got my little crossed pieces, see, I can, that's, I've got it. I'm just going to take my crochet thread, stick it through, pull it. I should make that face all the time. I'm going to make up my videos like this. Okay, and then you tie it between the tails of your tube. You can do a lot of fun stuff with this stuff. At Christmas, when I was a kid, I can't say this is my idea. I wish I could say it was my idea. It's such a cool idea. But no, I had a memory of having a funky looper made out of this. I don't know where my mom got it. Back in 1990, probably. But if they put jingle bells in it, so you could put like different little stuff in this. I had a little funky looper full of jingle bells inside the, you know, don't fill it with glitter or sand or anything, so it'll come out because the weave is so open, but definitely experiment because you can have a lot of fun. Okay, so I tied a knot with my thread, so that is now a held loop. Then I'm going to do the same thing. By the way, you don't need to heat seal this. It will catch fire, actually. That would be bad. If you're going to try to heat seal anyway, because you feel like making heat sealing people happy, make sure you know where your fire extinguisher is. I'm just going to take this tail and loop it up so it's just kind of got a little bit of an end sticking out. Don't worry, you're going to hide that. Then I'm going to take this long piece of tubular crin, the tail on one side, stick it through just the small loop. There I go with that face again. Okay, now that I've got it through, you still have that piece that kind of tailed away from the knot because I did not cut it. I did not cut the tail from the first knot. Yeah, anyway, I'll cut that loop. And I'm going to stick, okay, look very closely. In the loop it makes right here, not on this side. Yeah, that. Then I'm going to stick the end of it through there. And I'm going to make another knot down at the base of where the crin is crossing each other. Ready? Pull it tight. Pinch it and give it a good firm yank. And see? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll get to see it again in reverse. Okay. Just in case you're a lefty, because I am a righty. Make another loop and make sure it's even with my first one because that's how I like to do it. Again, do it however you want. Make them get gradually bigger, gradually smaller. Stuff them with jingle bells or googly eyes, rick-rack, whatever you want. Okay, now I'm just going to go, I'm going from behind this time because that's where the thread is. I am not left-handed. There, okay. I'm not left-handed. I feel like a nigger want to wear. Okay, there's that little loop still from where the tail is getting dragged away. Pull it through there. Okay, ready? And I'm just gonna stick it through that little knot where that loop is for a knot. Start to pull it so you make sure you're not going to end up with the slack in the wrong place. And once you think that thread's going to end up nice and tight, pinch all together, the thread and the crin, and then you're good. Now, at this point, you can trim these pieces of your crin closer to your knot because they're not going to matter. Leave the tails of the thread. I'll show you why. I'm going to trim mine after because, you know me, bringing my glue gun and my scissors to the computer is never something I think to do until I'm like, man, I should have done that. Just make a tutorial for myself how to make a tutorial. First, get your scissors. Then get your glue gun. Plug it in. Okay. Anyway, so yes, I'm just taking it now because it's all on my string. And I'm tucking it between my bow and my spikes, which are already glued together. I have not wrapped around the middle yet because when I wrap the middle with thread, I want it to catch the threads that are tying this all around. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to tie it so that it's tied around where the top bow is glued on. I'm sorry, I'm not like Vishnu. I don't have 6 hands in this particular step. I have to lay it down just for the support of, you know, gravity and physics. And I double knot my thread. There, and I'll leave that. So maybe if you couldn't tell last time, you can tell now. See there? Now I've got my loops the way I want them on my bow, and definitely put a little glue behind just to keep your loops where you want them when you're done. But yeah, I've got my loops. Add some feathers on here, make the bow a little bigger. It's another thing. If you're going to put more feathers and stuff, don't put your loops too small so where that once you've got the feathers on, you don't even notice that it's there, because why embellish? But so yes, but this, you can see how my string is coming between, well, not between that spike, see, between the spikes and the, because I just took it and I tied it around, and then I'm going to go trim everything up and put glue as needed, add some feathers in the middle and a clippy, and don't forget to wrap after you tie that on. Let me know if you have questions or comments. Share as you will, and I'm at www.facebook.com/SqueakerBee. Thanks. I'm just going to smile for one more second on the off chance that I get a cute thumbnail for once in my life instead of being like, ha. That's going to be the one they offer me now, was that one.